6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. Prime Minister meets teachers' unions. Prime Minister launches MEPA's or MEPA's Academy and Saira Rakina Ralla. UNICEF welcomes decision to reopen schools in Sri Lanka. Daily count of new COVID-19 cases reaches 681. Sri Lanka reports another 23 coronavirus deaths. AstraZeneca drug cocktail succeeds in late-stage study to treat COVID-19. 4 more Satoshi officials arrested over garlic scam. The Parliament Select Committee has decided to introduce legal amendments soon to conduct the Provincial Council elections. News from overseas. Thailand to reopen for some vaccinated visitors on the 1st of November. A meeting was held yesterday between Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and a delegation of teachers' trade unions at Temple Trees. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, Minister of Education Dinesh Gunawardena, and the Chief Incumbent of Narahenpita, Venerable Muruthetwe Anandathera, discussed issues related to teachers' salaries. Meanwhile, a meeting that was scheduled to be held between Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and representatives of the teachers and principals trade unions at Temple Trees yesterday was postponed. Marine Environmental Protection Authority MEPA's Academy and a volunteer coastal cleanup program, Saira Rakina Ralla, was launched under the patronage of the subject minister, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, yesterday at the Temple Trees in an event organised by the Marine Environment Protection Authority. The Memorandum of Understanding on MEPA Training Institute, aiming to educate young people on maritime employment opportunities, was exchanged with Ocean University and University of Peradeniya, and the Prime Minister unveiled its official logo. A special commemorative 25 rupee stamp, a first-day cover designed for the International Beach Cleanup Day, and a CD containing the composition of Saira Rakina Ralla, composed by singers Mr. Bhatia Jayakodi and Santosh Viraman, were presented to Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Acting Australian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Ms. Amanda Shovel, and United Nations Resident Representative Mr. Robert Jucum handed over to the Prime Minister the maritime safety equipment donated by the Government of Australia and the United Nations for the protection of Sri Lanka's maritime zones. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking.
The Health Ministry says that another 191 persons have tested positive for COVID-19, increasing the daily count of new cases reported within yesterday to 681. This pushes the tally of coronavirus cases confirmed in the country thus far to 527,064. 33,211 patients infected with the virus are currently under medical care across the island, while total recoveries is 480,499. The Parliament Select Committee has decided to introduce legal amendments soon to conduct the Provincial Council elections. The committee met recently under the chairmanship of Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. Minister Basil Rajapaksa pointed out that many problems have arisen since provincial councils were not functioning for more than 3 years. He said that only provincial councils are not functioning, and therefore the Finance Minister emphasised that provincial council elections should be held soon. The committee members said that the elections should be held under under the old system. Chairman of the committee, Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, said it's suitable to present necessary legal amendments in the Parliament to conduct the elections in January. The need to take steps for a fair representation of women was emphasised. The opinion of the majority has been favourable to a mixed election system. The chairman said that political parties and independent groups who gave statements at the committee were of the same view. UNICEF today commended the government of Sri Lanka for its decision to reopen primary school grades 1 to 5 for in-person learning from 21st October and urged for swift steps towards a full resumption of all schools across the country while ensuring that all measures were taken for a safe return. Global evidence continues to show that schools do not drive the spread of COVID-19 in the community and the virus does not pose a high risk to children. Evidence also indicates that teachers are at lower risk of infection in school settings compared to the general adult population. The United Nations Children's Fund said despite some brief periods of opening, physical operation of schools in Sri Lanka has been severely limited since initial closures in March 2020 in a swift move by the government to control the COVID-19 pandemic. Government efforts to mitigate learning losses through remote learning methods during the closures have helped children to not completely miss out on their education, the statement said. However, this has been limited by many factors, including varying levels of access to internet connection, laptops, mobile phones, TV, radio, and the broader infrastructure that supports these systems, as well as capacity of teachers, education administrations, and parents to effectively engage. The disruption caused by the pandemic has resulted in widening inequalities and learning losses that threaten to reverse and, in the worst case, completely erase the giants made over the past decades, UNICEF stressed. The reopening of schools provides an opportunity to limit a further widening of inequalities and mitigate the learning losses, but only if concerned efforts are made to strengthen systems for recovery and resilience of the education sector. The Director General of Health Services has confirmed another 23 coronavirus-related deaths in the country, increasing the death toll in the country due to the virus to 13,354. According to the figures released by the Government Information Department, the deaths reported today include 11 males and 12 females. 5 of the victims are between the ages of 30 to 59 years, while the remaining 18 are aged 60 years and above. Sri Lanka police says that another 4 officials from Satoshi have been arrested in connection with the recent garlic scam. They are to be produced before the Valisara Magistrate Court today, the 12th. On September 14, 2 containers carrying 54,000 kilograms of garlic belonging to Lanka Satoshi was taken into custody at Kerawalapitiya after they were allegedly pilfered from the port. 4 officials of Sri Lanka Satoshi, the country's largest state-owned retail chain, were interdicted over the incident. Satoshi's Deputy General Manager of Finance was arrested 2 days later. The government has taken effective measures to control the prices of essential commodities. However, opposition leader Sajid Premadasa alleged that the government has not taken any steps to control the prices of gas, cement and milk powder. The opposition leader also stated it is the government's duty to safeguard wildlife sanctuaries and related areas, but the preservation of wildlife resources are not satisfactory, the opposition leader added. Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa reiterated that there is no shortage of food items in the country. The minister also reassured that he will not leave room for any shortage in future. The budget proposals for next year will focus on promoting local production. A sum of 25 million rupees has been allocated for manufacturing economy, the minister added. giving COVID vaccines to academic and non-academic staff of universities and institutions affiliated to universities between the ages of 20 to 30 years commenced yesterday. Chairman of the University Grants Commission, Professor Sampath Amrutunga, said that vaccinations will continue until the 15th of this month. The chairman said that they can get the vaccine from the nearest university or affiliated institution due to travel restrictions. The date of commencement of universities will be decided after the 15th. He requested them to take university identity card or a document to confirm their identity. And that ends local news.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
An antibody combination treatment delivered through an injection has shown statistically significant reduction in severe COVID-19 or death compared to placebo in non-hospitalized patients with mild co-moderate symptomatic COVID-19, as AstraZeneca reported on Monday. The British-Swedish biopharmaceutical major said its tackle phase 3 COVID-19 treatment trial for AZD7442 had shown that the treatment met the primary endpoint. A dose of 600 milligrams of AZD7442 given by intramuscular injection reduced the risk of developing severe COVID-19 or death from any cause by 50%. Compared to placebo in outpatients who had been symptomatic for 7 days or less. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight.
The Institute of Certified Management Accountants of Sri Lanka will conduct another knowledge-sharing continuing professional development virtual webinar on new Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka Act No. 19 of 2021 tomorrow from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. via online Zoom platform. Those who wish to attend are requested to send an email to registrations at cma-srilanka.org. And that was Watchlight.
World News.
In the headlines, Thailand to reopen for some vaccinated visitors on the 1st of November. MPs say UK start to pandemic worst public health failure ever. Indian-administered Kashmir. Soldiers killed by suspected militants. World news in detail now. Thailand plans to end COVID quarantine requirements for fully vaccinated travellers from at least 10 low-risk nations from the 1st of November, officials say. PM Prayut Chan-o-cha admitted that this decision comes with some risk, but it's seen as a key step to revive the country's collapsed tourism sector. The 10 nations seen as low risk include the UK, China, Germany and the US. Mr. Prayut said Thailand would also allow entertainment venues to reopen on 1st of December and permit alcohol sales. The UK's failure to do more to stop COVID spreading early in the pandemic was one of the worst ever public health failures, a report by MPs says. The government's approach, backed by its scientists, was to try to manage the situation and the effect, achieve herd immunity by infection, it said. This led to a delay in introducing the first lockdown, costing lives. But the report by a cross-party group said there had been successors too, in particular the vaccination program. The Indian Army says 5 of its personnel have been shot dead by suspected militants in Indian-administered Kashmir. They were killed after fighting erupted during a search operation on Monday close to the line of control which separates Indian and Pakistan-controlled Kashmir. It's said to be the deadliest attack on army forces in February. Tensions have escalated amid a wave of civilian killings by suspected rebels. Back to the headlines of the world news. Thailand to reopen for some vaccinated visitors on the 1st of November. MPs say the UK start to pandemic worst public health failure ever. Indian-administered Kashmir, soldiers killed by suspected militants. And that ends world news.
And now in development news.
For the first time, the Bandaranaike International Airport, together with the Department of Immigration and Immigration, will soon implement a scheme to establish a paperless and touchless service for border control, bringing the airport in par with top airports in the world. The program is implemented under the guidance and support of Namal Rajapaksa, Minister of Youth and Sports, State Minister of Digital Technology and Enterprise Development. Under this initiative, the use of automation and reduction of manual handling will be increased in a manner such that a more user-friendly experience can be delivered to the passengers. And that was development news.
Sports news.
Soccer news. Wales scrapped past Estonia with an unconvincing win in Tallinn to keep hopes of finishing second in their World Cup qualifying group in their own hands. Kiefer Moore in form from a yard out to give its attack-minded but defensively shaky side a half-time lead. They became increasingly disjointed in the second half and were fortunate to preserve their lead as Estonia's Erik Sorga and Matthias Kate missed good chances. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Minister of Youth, Sports and State Minister of Digital Technology and Enterprise Development, Namal Rajapaksa, paid a courtesy call on the President of the Maldives, Ibrahim Mohamed Solih, recently. As per sources, the minister had discussions to strengthen the long-standing mutual relationship between Maldives and Sri Lanka during the visit. Minister Rajapaksa and the Maldivian president engaged in discussions regarding the COVID-19 recovery efforts and tourism. And that was business news.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news. Courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
As part of a recently concluded series of nearly 20 high-level discussions held in France, Sanjay Mohotala, Chairman of the Board of Investment of Sri Lanka, met with officials of Accor Hotels and Club Med respectively to discuss and explore opportunities in luxury leisure development in Sri Lanka. These bilateral meetings were organized in Paris by leading private sector companies, finance institutions and government agencies, with the BOI chairman joining a delegation that comprised Prasanna Rantunga, Minister of Tourism, Tharaka Balasurya, State Minister of Regional Cooperation, and Ashok Padrage, Chairman, Sri Lanka Airlines. Accor SA is a French multinational hospitality company and owns, manages and franchises hotels, resorts and vacation properties. And that was economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the western, Sabarkama, central and northwestern provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Sabarkama and central provinces. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the northern and Nuwa provinces in the afternoon or at night. Wind speed can be increased up to 50 kilometers per hour at times in the western slope of the Central Hills, northern, north central and southern provinces and in the Trincomalee district. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporarily localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. This weather report was published this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com predicts that Colombo weather would be generally bright during the day, but there will be cloudy weather in the afternoon. Today's daytime temperature would be around 29 degrees Celsius. There will be light showers in many places in the Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 27 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 26 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index AQI is 16, which shows a fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. And that was the weather report. To conclude this news broadcast, back to the headlines. Prime Minister meets teachers' unions. Prime Minister launches MEPA's Academy and Saira Rakinaralla. UNICEF welcomes decisions to reopen schools in Sri Lanka. Daily count of new COVID-19 cases reaches 681. Sri Lanka reports another 23 coronavirus deaths. AstraZeneca drug cocktail succeeds in late-stage study to treat COVID-19. 4 more SATUSA officials arrested over garlic scam. The Parliament Select Committee has decided to introduce legal amendments soon to conduct the Provincial Council elections. News from overseas: Thailand to reopen for some vaccinated visitors on the 1st of November. And with that, we conclude this news broadcast.